Basra Air Station, southern Iraq, known as the Cobb. 5 miles west of the city of Basra, it's home to over 4,000 British troops. Amongst them, the men from 2 Squadron of the RAF Regiment. Known as the Rock Apes, the regiment is tasked with protecting aircraft and personnel from the constant threat of insurgent rocket attacks. Over the next 6 months, I'll follow their deployment. How they live, how they relax, how they work. This is their story. This is Rocks in a Hard Place. For the 171 personnel that make up 2 Squadron of the RAF Regiment, southern Iraq is the place they will call home for the next 6 months. Divided into 4 fighting flights, as well as a support echelon, the squadron patrol the ground in small units outside the Cobb, ensuring the aircraft are protected from rocket attacks. What sets the men of 2 Squadron apart from the rest of the regiment is that they are the only airborne, parachute-capable squadron in the Royal Air Force.
The squadron's a volunteer squadron. The lads are here because they want to be here, not because they're being posted in here. They obviously all hope to achieve their wings so that they're fully badged members of the squadron, having done their pre-para and their pre-parachute selection course and then their jumps course.
The paras and the Marines have always been the first choice when it comes to Special Forces support group, but 2 Squadron seems to be outperforming them, and my personal opinion is that it's because we're used to working in smaller units.
I mean, with the regiment we're gunners, but we can branch off and get our different qualifications. I mean, so a lot of the lads are multi-skilled. I mean, I'm a driver, a medic, a rifleman, and sort of, at least that way you're a bit more versatile. You can pick pretty much anyone on the flight to say, right, so-and-so's got an R&R, you can take his place.
Working in such a way and in small teams means the bond between the men across all the ranks is particularly strong.
Yeah, there's definitely an open feeling, particularly on 2 Squadron, actually, and I think that comes from the men doing things like pre-para assessment, which is our equivalent of P Company, jumping out of planes. That makes the men bond, and it doesn't matter if you're the lowest LAC 18-year-old sprog who's just turned up to the squadron commander, they all have that similar experience, and that brings them together you can look into the eyes of another man and know that he's gone through the same things you have, and that brings us together as a team. Obviously
there's a lot of officers on the squadron, and you can be very relaxed with them, especially on tour. You can be quite relaxed with them. Obviously you still call them sir, you still respect them and their rank, but I mean, me and the boss done pre-para together, so there's a certain bond with us. It's like we can have a laugh and a joke, but when it comes down to the job, then I'm the SAC, he's the boss, so I do as I'm told.
Even me in my position as the ops officer, any senior officer on the squadron, and they do regularly, come and give me their opinions. And I think if I was an ops officer, possibly on an army battalion, I don't necessarily think that would happen, because their senior officers are treated in a slightly different manner.
2 Squadron's pre-para assessment is considered one of the toughest in the British military, designed to push those taking it to their very limit.
Pre-para itself is a 3-week selection course. It's not a kind of attendance course where if you turn up every day you pass. You've got to get through the events in the right time, and if you don't, then you get 3 strikes and you're out. There's
enormous pride put with passing pre-para and sort of doing your parachute course and getting your wings and being able to wear your maroon t-shirt and your parachute wings.
When you've done 4 weeks of beat up and then 3 weeks of pre-para at the last event, it is phenomenally hard, which is why on the way back I was hallucinating. But I kept seeing bicycles. I could see bicycles on the side of the road, also the path, as if someone had been riding it and then just chucked it like the wheels folded back. And I knew they weren't there, but I saw 4 of them, 5 of them along the way. It wasn't until I got within a few feet that they disappeared. It was bizarre.
A lot of it is in the head. if you're halfway through an event and you tell yourself, I'm not going to finish this event, then you won't finish it. But if you're halfway through the event and you say to yourself, I can get to the end, I can finish this in the time, then you will do it. If you've got what it takes mentally, then you've got what it takes physically, no matter what.
Next time on Rocks in a Hard Place.
They're friendly to our faces, but what they do behind our backs, we don't know about.
B Flight meet the locals out on patrol.
The issue is that if I make a mistake, it could, worst case scenario, it could involve people's lives.